Hello, everyone who's here live and then also in the streams and recordings. I just really quickly want to hop on to answer kind of what Janice said. So yes, there's no programming next Thursday because we're taking the day off in the observation of Remembrance Day, but we'll be back the next week. As well as this class today is, unfortunately, Megan and Sierra can't be here in person or live, but they did send a video, so that's what we will be doing today. Let me just get everything connected. I will be showing a brief video at the beginning for the kind of Connectra side, and then I will switch over to the actual adaptive fitness class. Once I play it, hopefully the audio will go through. If it does not go through, feel free to message in the chat because I will be able to see that, and then we'll be able to fix it. Okay.
Thank you for attending this ConnecTogether event. During this event, we have automatic closed captioning available. Please go to the bottom of the Zoom meeting, click Live Transcript, and then Show Subtitles to turn them on. Before we begin, we'd like to take a quick moment to let you know how you can join an opinion research panel made specifically for British Columbians living with disabilities.
For 25 years, the Disability Foundation has been fostering meaningful experiences for Canadians with disabilities through outdoor recreation, social connectedness, innovative adaptive devices, and more. Today we are asking, how has the pandemic affected you? Help strengthen decision makers' understanding of your needs and experiences by joining an online opinion research panel consisting solely of people with disabilities and their caregivers. Make a difference in your community today. The Disability Foundation. Reimagine what is possible.
Did you know? Young adults with disabilities have a harder time getting hired. Break down barriers by sharing your story. Take our survey.
Hey everyone, Sierra here from Rehab and Fitness. Today I'm going to be taking over for Megan as we jump into this workout. Equipment you're going to need, I have some light ankle weights that we'll be using. You can use dumbbells, you can use soup cans, whatever you have that you can use for a little bit of weight, even some water bottles with some water in it works fine. Other than that, that's all we need today. We're going to be doing a quick warm-up, doing some breath work in that warm-up. Then we're going to get into the workout. It's a lot of strength exercises. Then we'll be finishing off with some core and a little bit of cardio to finish off the day before we get into a cool down. So let's get started. So first we're going to do is some breath work. So I just want you to think about, we're drawing a square with our breath. So we're going to inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and then inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and we're going to keep going in that pattern on your own. Making sure we fill that belly, not lifting that chest, imagining that balloon. Drawing that box with your breath. Wherever you are, I want you to do 2 more full boxes of breathing. And exhale. Good. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're just going to take our right ear to our right shoulder, relaxing that left side. And then we're going to switch sides. Good. Just keep going back and forth now, making sure we get some range of motion here. Good. And then from there, we're gonna look up to the sky and tucking that chin in and looking down towards our toes. Awesome. Hopefully getting a little more range here as we continue to move. And then we're gonna look down one more time. We're gonna look left and right. Nice and slow. Remembering our breath here. For some of us, it might be a little tighter. So really focusing on breathing into that tightness, exhaling, and getting rid of that tension. Good. Okay, next one we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our hands. Palms are gonna be out facing me. Thumbs are up to the sky as we go up, drawing essentially a V with our arms. Good. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Good. Good. And then we're going to switch to just going up to shoulder height. Awesome. And then we're going to bring, palms are going to be facing toward me, elbows to your sides, nice and tight as we go up and overhead. So as if we're pressing overhead, bringing the elbows all the way down. We're basically creating some wall angels here, so we can even go out. Good. And then we're going to reach up to the left with our right arm over our head, looking at our hand, and then coming down and switching sides. Good. Awesome. Then we're going to tuck that chin in and roll down through the spine. Hands can stay on our lap as we just get a little bit of curvature in the spine, bringing the head as close down to the knees as we can. If you can only go a little bit, that's totally fine as we come back slowly up, lifting that head up to the ceiling, lifting that chest, shoulders down, arms up to the sides. And then we're going to come in to some bear hugs. Good. Good. A couple more here. And then we're going to take one arm, so right arm to touch the left shoulder. So starting out, arms over to the side, and then reaching across to that opposite shoulder. And good. Okay, we're going to grab those weights. So whatever weights you're using, let's grab those. And the first exercise we're going to do is a superset. We're going to start with our bicep curls. So arms are going to be tucked in towards our elbows. No, towards the sides. And that did not make any sense. So elbows tucked towards the sides, and we're just going to do some bicep curls here. Good. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now we're going to rotate the palms towards me, and we're going to do single arm presses. Reaching up overhead, staying nice and steady, engaging that core. So thinking about bringing that belly button in towards our spine. Pressing those feet in, or imagining pressing those feet into the floor or foot plate, wherever you are right now. Good. And then we are going back to bicep curls. Now, if you have light weights like me, you can switch up these bicep curls a little bit to do pulses. So you can do 3 pulses, come down, come all the way up, 3 pulses, and then down. So if that works for you because you have very lightweight and you want a little more of a workout, you can do pulses. Otherwise, we are just here making sure we're not swinging or using any momentum. Notice I'm not swinging here. It's just nice and controlled. Good. And then we're switching to overhead press. So one arm up at a time, engaging that core, making sure we're not moving too much. We're just pressing overhead. Awesome job. Good. Last one's here. And going into our bicep curls again. Pulsing if we want, making sure we go full, and then pulse if that's what we're doing. Pulse and down. Good, making sure shoulders are away from those ears. One more here. And we are going into overhead press. Nice and controlled. If you have the option to, and you're feeling this is too light, add some weight. Good. And rest. Good. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going into 3 movements here. So we're going to be thinking about, you can have hands on your sides as we hinge forward. And then from there, we're keeping our elbows nice and tight, hinging forward, going out towards us. So we're kind of creating Superman or Superwoman, and then coming back. Superhuman. There we go. So that's what that movement is. So once we do the hinge, we're doing our tricep extensions. We're coming in back to neutral. So that is the hinge we come back to, also the arms, and then we're punching forward. Good. So we're doing hinge, bicep extension, coming back to neutral, and then we're doing forwards. Okay. Hinge, tricep extension, and forwards. So those who got that, you can continue doing that. For those who this is too much, you can go up overhead. So one arm, I would say, for balance. Doing your tricep extension. So say you do 3 and then you punch forward. Okay. Or you do your tricep extension, punch forward, no hinge. So find what works for you. I'm going to do my hinge, tricep extension, and then punching forwards. Now, these punches forward, if you have really heavy weight, the punching is going to be hard. You might want to drop that weight. If you have light weights, I want to think about us getting a lot of force in. Good. Awesome job. Okay. Couple movements here. I like to add a bunch of movements into one exercise. Keeps our brain really thinking. It's super efficient, but we really want to focus on that form. Remembering when we do our hinge, we don't want to create any curvature in the spine. We want to keep it nice and flat. So when I'm hinging forward, we're thinking about keeping it nice and flat. We don't want to be here because then we've gone too far. So we'll be working on that hinge a little bit. Okay, next exercise is we're going to go into a lateral raise and then a front raise. Okay, so if you have heavy weights, this might be really hard. I would encourage you to at least do a couple and then drop the weight. If you have to do single arm at a time like this, that's totally fine too. Okay, so find what works for you. And breathing, remembering to keep those shoulders away from the ears. We don't want to be here. You want to be down here. Good. Awesome job. And rest. Awesome. Okay, grab some water. We're going to be going back to those two combos of exercises right away here. But I'll let everyone catch their breath, get situated, grab some water. And we'll be starting again shortly. So as everyone's coming back to where we were, I want everyone to really focus on the hinge this time. So we're doing a lot of different movements, but really focusing on that hinge, engaging that core as we lean forward. Hands are to the sides here, elbows are nice and tucked as we go out towards behind us. Coming forwards, coming back to neutral, and then punching forward. Okay? I don't want these ones to be fast. This is more about strength. We have heavy weights. You might need to eventually drop them. That's okay. I'd rather you be focusing on your form here. Good. And if we have light weights like me, we're throwing in some punches. Making sure we get a nice hinge. If we're able to do the hinge. Or we are doing our triceps over top, doing a couple, switching sides, and then doing your punches. Okay, we got a couple more here. Everyone's doing awesome. Throwing a lot of different movements into one exercise, which always makes it challenging. Good. And rest. Okay, back to our lateral raises and front raises. So we're doing our lateral raises. This time I want you to think about having your thumbs pointing up to the ceiling, okay, for those front raises. Remembering if we need to do single arm for balance or just for some comfort, that's totally fine too. Otherwise, we're staying with me at pace. You need to drop the weight, drop the weight. Good, we got a couple more here. And rest, awesome. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. So take a breather, adjust if you need. And get ready for some hinges. So hinges, hinging forward, elbows tucked, going out, and then punching. Good. We should all be finding the groove now on whatever movements we're doing here. Now, if we're doing this standing up, I really want you to focus on lifting that chest and bending of the knees as we hinge forward. Okay? Engaging that core, bringing that belly button into the spine. There we go. One more here. And rest. Good. Okay, back to our lateral raises and front raises. So remember, we're coming nice and stable out to the side. Thumbs are going to be pointing to the sky. Going just to shoulder height. And again, just to shoulder height on the front raises with those thumbs up to the sky. Good. Awesome. We're doing single arm, staying nice and controlled. We don't want to be swinging, engaging that core. And we're breathing. Couple more here. And rest. Good. Okay, grab some water, take a quick breather. we're gonna go into our last strength exercise of this bit of a circuit. So as everyone's grabbing water and just taking a moment, I will talk through the next one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do around the worlds or around the head. We're gonna go in one direction and we're gonna go in the other direction, and then we're gonna do some angels. So what that's gonna look like is you're gonna have whatever you have, dumbbell. I'm actually gonna use my water bottle so you can see it better. We're gonna have your dumbbell or whatever you're using, and we're gonna keep the elbows nice and tucked as we go in and around the head. Okay, so coming back to neutral, spinning around the head and back. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 on one side, so that's 4 and 5, and we're gonna switch sides. So everything stays nice and controlled, kind of staying in the same distance. Notice the elbows are staying the same distance here. Do 2 more here on this side. And rest, good. Okay, then we're gonna go into some wall angels. I might need to move a bit. So what this is gonna look like is if we're doing just some snow angels. So thumbs are up to the sky if we're not grasping. And we're just going up and overhead. Good. Shoulders down. Think about shoulders in your back pockets. Two more here. And rest. Good. Okay, let's take a moment. Both of those are overhead, so it's a little more taxing. If you need to drop the weight for around the worlds, you can grab things like pillow, something just like a little bigger than, say, this size. So it's easier to hold, and it just creates a little more stability with those elbows and shoulders as we go overhead and around. Okay, so we're going up and over and coming down. Now, if this is too difficult, I would say either just go forward or you can go overhead, or you can do both. So if this is too much or not accessible to you, those are some options. And then we're going to switch directions. Good. Now, I would say even tighter to the head. I have headphones on, so I don't want to hit those, but if you can get closer to the head, that would be great. And we're just kind of really focus on trying to keep the head as stable as we can as we go around. Good. Okay. We're gonna go into our angels. The thumbs are up, pointed towards the sky. Going up and overhead. Breathing here. And 10. Good. Okay, take a moment. And we're gonna go into our around the worlds one last time. So shoulders away from those ears. And then we're gonna start going around or going overhead or going in front, whatever we're doing. If you're following me, we're gonna switch sides now and rotate the other way. Good. Staying nice and tight to the head. Trying to keep that head as stable as you can. And rest. Good. And back to angels. Now, if going overhead is too much too, you can just stay here. Good. Breathing. And last one. Good. Okay, grab some water, take a moment. We are going to go into some core exercises and then finish off with some quick little burner cardio. So what we're going to do is we have 4 exercises with the core. And so we're going to do some paint shakers for about 10 seconds. Then we're going to go right into wood chops, right into a little bit of a forward press, staying kind of at belly button height. And then we're going to go into a hold, and then we're going to do that a couple times. So paint shakers, what this is going to look like. If you have something bigger, kind of like my water bottle, that works best. But your phone would also work, a pillow, whatever you can find that you can get a little bit of distance between those hands. So paint shakers, we're just thinking about we're shaking a paint can and we're just going out in front, staying nice and neutral and going as fast as we can, okay? So I'm going to time and we're going to do that. Ready and go. And rest, good. Okay, next one we're gonna do is we're gonna go into woodshop. So we're gonna come to the right side of the head and go down to the left hip. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're gonna go to the other side. Now, I want force into these, and I want you to try and stay as stable. So I'm rotating a bit, and we don't want that. So we wanna try and stay as neutral as we can as we throw it down to our hip. Good. Next one we're going to do is we're just going out all the way and then coming back in. When we go out, I want you to hold for 3 seconds and then come in, okay? 2, holding, 3, 4, good, and 5, keeping those shoulders down. Breathing, and rest, good. Okay, last one we're going to do is we're going to come up to a hold. Now, if you have a little bit of balance and a little bit of core, your arms should be very straight as you hold this in front. If you're like me, who doesn't have a lot of core, my elbows are going to be a little bent as I hold forward, but I'm really thinking about squeezing that belly button towards the spine and staying nice and stable with the shoulders. We're just going to hold here. And rest, good. Okay, shake that out. We're going to go right into it again. So first one we're going to do paint shakers and go. Nice and controlled but forceful. And rest, good. Now we're going into woodshop. So to the right head, to the left hip. 2, 3, making sure we're not rotating too much. And switching sides. And 5, good. Okay, palette press. Coming out here, holding, and then coming back in. Straight out in front. And rest, good. Okay, last one we're doing is isometric holds. Sitting here, sitting up nice and straight. Arms are straight out in front. If we got a little bit of core and that's too much, just bending those elbows slightly and bringing it in. So you still feel that burn. Good. And rest. Okay, one last time, and then we are moving into some quick cardio. So paint shakers. Ready and go. There we go. This is our last time of paint shakers. And rest. Good. Okay, wood chops going from the right side of the head down to the left hip. Forceful, no rotation. Good. Palette press, going out, holding, coming back in. Good. And last one. Good. Okay, going into our isometric hold. Staying nice and stable. Ears down, tucking that chin in a bit. And breathing. Good. And rest. Awesome job. Okay, grab some water. If you would like to use some light weights, you can for this. You do not have to use any weight for this. We're going to be doing some intervals. So take a moment, grab some water, move around a bit, bring that heart rate down if it's up. And we're going to get right into it. So what this is going to look like is we're going to do 30 seconds on of an exercise, and then we're going to do 10 seconds rest before we hop into it. So we're going to do it quite a few times. So pace yourselves. If you're using light weights, use them. Otherwise, because we're doing it for 30 seconds, I wouldn't suggest too heavy of weights. And I don't want you to be throwing the weights around too much. It's more about getting cardio and going fast. So what we're going to do is jabs first, and then we're going to do jumping jacks. So jabs for 30 seconds, 10 seconds rest, going into jumping jacks overhead, rest, and then we're going to keep doing that. Okay? So we're going to do that for about 5-ish minutes. We'll see what we're doing for time. But other than that, let's get started. So if you're using light weights, grab those. And we're starting with our jabs. And I hope everyone is ready. And we are starting. So we're just coming out in front because we're doing some cardio now. I want you to really think about speeding this up. If the weights is already feeling too heavy, drop those weights. And we're coming back to the chin. There we go. We got 15 seconds. Be easy peasy. Nicely done. Breathing on those punches. And rest. Okay, 10 seconds rest. We're going to be shifting to jumping jacks. If overhead is too much, you can stay forwards. You can dance, whatever works for you. Just keep that heart rate up. We're going for 30 seconds. You can do arm circles here. Ten seconds. And rest. Good. We got 10 seconds here. Then we're going back into jabs. Big inhale as we exhale and going into jabs. Making sure we come back right to the chin with those hands. Nicely done. Got 10 seconds. We got 20 seconds to go. Making sure form is nice. 10 seconds. Hopefully the heart rate's raising here. And rest. Good. Okay. We're going into jumping jacks. And let's go. And 5 seconds. And rest. Good. All right, these last couple are going to be a little tougher now that we are getting our heart rate up. So remembering to breathe, staying nice and calm. And let's go. Last one. Rest. Good. And we are going into jumping jacks. And let's go. Finding a pace, staying with that. Breathing. And rest. Good. Okay, we got time for one more. Let's do one more. Okay, I want you to really focus on that breathing here. Getting back down as we go into jabs. Nice and controlled. Find your pace. We got 20 seconds. Good. 10 more seconds. And rest. Good. Last one, the jumping jacks. Getting right into it. And let's go. Awesome job. We got 20 seconds. That's it. Good job. Keep it going. Right to the end. And rest. Good. Awesome job. All right. Let's set that weight down. We are going into our 10 minutes of cool down here. Bringing that heart rate down. So here we're gonna tuck that chin in. Looking down towards the toes, relaxing those shoulders, and we're just gonna hold here. If you need a hand to pull your head down a little further so you can feel the stretch out in the back of the head, the back of the neck, do that. Otherwise, let's just take a moment here and hold. Feeling that heart rate coming down. Good. Coming back to neutral, tucking that chin in and going down to the right armpit. We're trying to get our nose down to the armpit. We're relaxing that left side. My hand's dangling here. Sometimes I use my right hand to help pull closer. And with an inhale, I want you to see if you can get a little further with that stretch now. Exhale, come back to center. Tucking that chin in, going to the left. Right arm's nice and loose. Inhale, I want you to see if you can get a little further. And exhale, coming back to center. Good. Okay, from here, I want you to just take your nose and imagine drawing big circles with your nose. As you stretch out here. Breathing. We're going to switch directions. Good. Okay, from here, we're going to lift that chest, shoulders in our back pockets, arms out to the side, and lifting that head. And exhale, coming back to center, tucking that chin in. We're going to roll through the spine. You can keep your hands on your lap, or we can bring our hands all the way down towards the toes. Finding what's comfortable as we stay here for about 30 seconds. And exhale, slowly come up. And we're gonna go to the right side here, looking over, so twisting, looking over our right shoulder. And holding here. Exhaling, switching sides. Making sure we can breathe. If we can't breathe, we've twisted too far. And coming back to center. Next, we're gonna go reach overhead, looking up with that hand, and then we're gonna stay here. So going as far as we can, feel that stretch and breathing. And coming back to center and going over to the right. Looking up at that hand. And coming back to center. Next, we're just gonna take our hand out in front and stretch with that wrist. If you can grab the other hand to help pull those fingers, keeping that arm nice and straight, pulling those fingers towards you. Often a neglected part of the body. So it might feel tight and just push or bringing those fingers in towards you as we go. So hand down, bringing those fingers towards you, and you stretch that out too. Go until you feel a little bit of tension and hold it before we go to the other side. So palm up, keeping that arm straight, bringing those fingers in towards yourself. And exhale, pointing those fingers down towards the ground, and then we're going to bring those fingers towards you. Sometimes the stretch is enough where we just try and bring those fingers in. So as you can see, this is kind of what we're looking for. Good. And the last one we're going to do is you have a table in front of you, or a couch or a bed, something you can place your hands on the table with. We're going to just come forward, hinging at the hips, whether you're in a chair or you're standing, and you're going to roll back as far as you can. And then our head is going to go between our arms as we press those hands into the table or counter, whatever you're using. And we're just going to hang here for a moment. I want us to start thinking about breathing up through the spine. Exhaling down through the body. Pressing those hands into the table. And exhale, coming back to center. Now, before I say goodbye, I would like everyone to just relax their shoulders, sitting up nice and tall, close their eyes for a moment. Just take a moment to appreciate what your body was able to do today, whether it was all of that workout, which is great, or if it was some, any movement is better than none. Taking a second to think about the things that we are grateful for. I know I am always grateful to be able to do these classes, to just get some movement in, to open up everything, and to just feel good. Feeling thankful for the breath that we are able to have. And just taking a moment to be thankful for ourselves for showing up and appreciating the time that we did give to ourselves. And then from here, I'd like everyone to take 2 big breaths. Melting into the chair, the floor, wherever you are. And on that second exhale, you can open up your eyes. And that is it for me today. I hope everyone had a great movement today. I don't think I'll be around for a little bit for the next bit, but if I don't see you, thank you everyone for a great workout, and I hope to see you all again soon. If you have any questions about what Megan and I do, be sure to go over to Ocean Rehab and Fitness, and we'd be happy to answer any questions or concerns. And I am taking clients on still, so if you are interested in that, feel free to reach out at the website, and we'd be happy to get you started with the program. But take care, everyone, and have a great day. Thanks.